Hey everybody, this is Chris DeFirio with Keys to the Shop, and welcome to this edition of Shift Break. I hope you're doing well today, and I just wanted to talk about latte art. I wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking about since coming back from Los Angeles, where besides speaking on leadership and management, I was also head judge for Coffee Fest World Latte Art Championship Open. Now, this is a competition that I've won a few times and I've been judging for quite a while. I took a bit of a hiatus for a year or so, and I'm back as a head judge. And this was one of the toughest, absolute toughest brackets so far to judge. And they tell me that New York next year in March, Coffee Fest is going to be even harder. But latte art, unless you've been living under a rock, has gotten ridiculous. And the skill level that is brought by latte artists all over the world is beyond anything any of us in the early days of sort of pioneering different forms of latte art could ever imagine be possible. So the skill level is really what we are judging. We are judging the latte artist. We're judging the drink itself, of course, but we're judging the skill level that they have. The whole point of latte art is how well can you manage the pouring of milk into a cup to create an image. And it's like a fashion show. Nobody really wears these things out in public, Some people might wear the runway outfits out in public. It's conceptual. This is the way I think of it. There are pieces of latte art that you see that may or may not be shown in the cafe, but let me explain what I think about when I see some of these, Instagram accounts and latte art examples that are distributed on the internet, and what I think the side effect might be, unintentionally so, that might frustrate new coffee professionals, or at least throw them off track. Latte art is, of course, one of the first things that people latch onto when it comes to having passion for being a barista. It's one of those things where they find a community, they can get good at it, they can practice it on every drink. It's visually stimulating, and so it offers immediate feedback, like, I did this and I want to do it again, Pulling a shot of espresso is great, but it all looks brown, so you're not tasting every shot. But you can consume, so to speak, every piece of latte art with your eyes, and so it's immediately addictive. When you look at the latte art coming out of the competitions at Coffee Fest, and a lot of the latte art I see online, for a lot of it, what you're looking at is a very unrealistic representation of what's possible in a cafe, paying attention to quality when it comes to foam ratio, extraction, etc. A lot of these latte artists are using very restricted shots of espresso and thinner milk to get the most contrast, to show the most detail in every petal of the rosetta, in every layer of the heart, and it is a competition. Now, a barista who is into latte art back at home, who has a properly just extracted shot, it's going to be maybe a higher volume than a ristretto. They have a well-steamed milk that has a little bit more foam than a typical competitive latte artist might have. They're going to try to do this design that's so ornate that they're inspired by, and they're going to get frustrated because there's no way that you can do that. There's no way you can get an 18-layer tulip in a 6-ounce cup without manipulating some of the basic fundamentals of quality beverages. So I just want to put this out there and say, if you are out looking at these examples of latte art, know one thing. First, it takes incredible skill to be able to do what they do, okay? This is not meant to take anything away from the people who have honed their skill so well. Lord knows they're making amazing traditional drinks because they can do these amazing competitive drinks. But there is a difference between the two. The ones that you serve in the cafe might not be as, might not have as much of a wow factor. They might not have as much contrast or, intricate layering, but they taste delicious. They look beautiful. And in a way, you shouldn't necessarily judge your success as a barista or a latte artist in this case based on the examples of competitive latte artists in these competitions. So what I want to leave you with is two things. First of all, I'm an advocate for a latte art competition, a latte art throwdown. I'm judging a throwdown at the end of September, and I'm coming back to judge latte art also. So this is not a question for me of should we do this or should we not. We absolutely should, because we should always try to get better. The second thing, though, is that competition is not the defining factor of how you stack up professionally. Make your foundation professionally based on the parameters of your day-to-day bar work. And then when it comes time for a competition, put yourself out there and use those tools, manipulate the elements and see what you can do. And then, you come back to the bar, you might be that much better with your traditional and well-extracted, properly foamed milk. This is what we do. We enter competitions that are somewhat unrealistic so that we can stretch ourselves just like our milk. Terrible milk pun, I apologize. We stretch ourselves professionally in artificial environments so that when we're back in our authentic environments, we're that much better. And that's what it's about. So, latte art is great. It's not the end-all be-all, but more power to you, and I hope you get better and better at it. And that's all I wanted to talk about, really. So it was important for me to sort of get that out to you. I hope that this was helpful for you as a budding latte artist and coffee professional. So thanks for joining me today. Really appreciate your time, and I'll see you here next week for another edition of Shift Break, from Keys to the Shop.